Hello traders, it's February 8th and we are looking a week ahead. Quick disclaimer that this is just how I see the markets. This is not a recommendation to buy, sell or hold any securities. We're going to start with Air Canada and we're going to look at quite a few stocks today that I'm interested in for this week. Because they are giving me nice signals or they're located at the right location. A couple of examples I want to show you how the trading style that I use can work in any trading environment. So let's get started with Air Canada. As we can see, I left you over last time. We are still working in this consolidation, this box here. We are not moving anywhere from there. I also warned you that this $22 is going to be a problem or a big hurdle for Air Canada to pass. I would prefer the market to come down here and retest the bottom of the box or this 1954 again, the same area, before it bounces to the upside on $24. We can see previous resistance. And then we had a support, we had a problem going through this area, and now we're stuck again in the same area here, and I don't see much of a movement over there, at least for this week, until it comes to this 2163 area or a 1954, and probably give us a better entry from those areas to get in long. If anything starts moving from there. So that's Air Canada. Interesting chart here to look at. We have a weekly chart right in front of us here, and what we can see here, we just had some resistance here. Okay, on a weekly chart we can see that there was a resistance right here. We just broken through this resistance here, which was at around 1123 area right there. And now we are moving on. This is on a weekly chart, guys. First hurdle and first problem that I can see is a 1246 area, and you can see why. When the market was coming down here, we had this obvious area of support. Market broke down and retested exactly the same area right there. Take a look. Where does the market where are we expecting for this market to go to? Well, from this area, as we have broken out, we are expecting it to come to this 1246 area. And then only if we get a nice breakout out of this area, because this is a very strong resistance, next target is $15. And I'll show you why as well. What I want you to see is the following. We can see the market had a problem going through this area right there. We can see the market stalled here, so there was a nice support. Then we had a problem going through this area, so there was a consolidation. So this area is definitely significant. We came another time, we came here another time, then the market stopped right there. You can see how it stopped right there. Then we had this consolidation, and this is a weekly chart. For weeks we were going into the same area. And then take a look, 1, 2, 3 retests. I don't know if you can see it here. I'm going to enlarge the chart, but I just wanted to show you how far in the past we are going with this one. So $15, we're expecting to be a huge resistance over there. So if we are to get into this stock at the moment, that will be our definite target. First one is a 1246, next one $15. Looking at the BlackBerry here, we're looking at the weekly chart here, and oh my, what a roller coaster this was, with the investment here. Well, take a look at here. Okay, so again, it still plays by the same rules. It doesn't really matter if we had a roller coaster there or not. We had this high here, okay, and there was a high there. Take a look at this high here. Once, it was retested twice, 3 times. This candle was not able to break out. This one broken out, but then when it came down and retested it, so we know that this area is becoming really, really significant for us to look at. And then we went through it, and we went through it, and we went through it, and then we retested it again. Look at this. The candles are here. They're closing right on the line. They couldn't break through. The wicks are just on the other side, but the bodies are still below, so it was fully in a sell-off. We came out here. And now we finally broken out here, and this was this speculation that was happening a few days ago. And let's take a look what happened there. Okay, so this is a weekly chart. We don't have much other information on weekly chart, but I'm going to switch to daily, and I want to show you what happened there. All right, so This was that last high that we have marked, and we know that it's very significant from the past. The market broke through and it went all the way up. Whatever, we didn't trade that. That's fine, totally. Market comes down in a few days. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Stops right on the dot, like this candle. Body is right on the line, and the next candle is a doji candle. Basically, it's an indecision candle. It's also an inside bar, and once this top of that candle was broken here, you can see this candle just moved the market to the upside. But let's take a look what happened on the 1-hour chart. This is how you refine the entries. So we know that the market came down. This was a very important area that we marked on a weekly chart, guys, on a weekly chart. So we know that 1472 is very important. It doesn't matter what happened a few days ago. It did this spike here, and it doesn't really matter. Came down here and retested it. Look at this. Look at the bodies of these candles. Not one closes on the other side. This one did. It tried the last time, so this is a bearish move, bullish move, bullish move, bearish, bullish, bearish. I always say that these kind of areas here are becoming very interesting to us just because this is where the decision is being made, where the market is going to go and who is going to win. After this final bearish move here, we get a perfect entry candle, the bullish pin bar, and after that, market takes off. Okay, so this is at 1472. Now we're setting at $17. It doesn't really matter, this spike and all this speculation that was happening this year. Don't pay attention to that. It's not important. Okay, we can see this low here that was created. Okay, and that's where the market is sitting right now. If you can see this line here, the market is sitting right at that low here, and it's still, it doesn't matter what happens, it always respects the same rules. So this was your entry. If you're looking at the BlackBerry to re-enter there, people are saying, oh yeah, this is the end of the BlackBerry. No, just take a look at the chart. Chart told you everything, and here we go. We're moving on. This is a Telus. We can see this high. This is going to be a resistance for us to pass on. This is a 2774 area. The reason why I took the trade is because of this engulfing candle that broke finally 1, 2, 3 candles right there. It engulfed fully. These previous 3 candles, so previous 3 weeks of trading was fully engulfed with this candle here, and it closed on the other side. And now the bulls are continuing on, and our next target is about $28 over there, these highs right there. So we can see this area that I marked from a couple of days ago. You can see the black line as well as the red line over there. That was marked because of this high. This pin bar here created this high, okay? And then we went sideways. We had one attempt to break out, second, third, fourth, and then we kind of fell here, and then we pulled back. This was another attempt to go through. Only wick stayed on the other side. Body closed below. Another attempt here, and then we finally have this candle here, which engulfs this candle here, and it closes on the other side with the body on the other side of this line here, which gives us a great entry. So how do we enter on this trade? As soon as the top of this candle here, the broken out, is broken, we get into the trade, and you can see the bulls are taking the lead right now. And I'm expecting it to go all the way to $28. So this is a Telus, but this is a Nutrien stock. So what I want to see here, what I want to show you here is a blank chart, and we'll go over this whole process, how to mark these areas that are very important for us. So we can see here, this last peak here happened as well, happened there, so we're gonna mark that. That's definitely a resistance that was just broken out. Okay, now we can see also resistance at this area here. So this is going to be our first target where we're going. You can see here there was a support, 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 resistance, breakout, pullback. Support here to bounce off. We have a support here to bounce off from there, and now we are moving to 72, 77 area. This was at 64.80. Okay, we can see the strong resistance at this area here. You can see resistance, 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 and resistance. We can see why all these candles stopped here. So this is our first target. After that, if we have a nice breakout pullback, we can continue on with this. I strongly believe that this stock has the potential to move on. So the highest we ever went, it was $76 right there. I'm going to mark that too so you can see what that is. So this is the top that we reached. So we are at $70 right now. We are strongly bullish here. The first target is going to be $73. Next target is $76. And this is how you mark the support and resistance on the charts. Okay, over here, this is switching to daily chart. We had this resistance that I marked. We broken out, and what happened there? Well, take a look. Let's take a look at here. Okay, so this is the resistance that I marked on a daily chart. We had a breakout right here. We had a pullback, and then we had a signal to get into a trade. Okay, and that's basically simple as that. You could have taken a trade here, and it took us always to the $70, which is $6 in trade in stock. Okay, we fell down again. Retest again on this area here, probably on a lower time frame, so you had a better entry to get into trade as well. You can see now the bulls are fully in control here. This is very, very positive, and let's just mark this with a little line here, black line, because this is the last high that we have created here. So 70.28. We are just trading above that area. So potential is now to $73 from there, and then to 76, I believe. But this is a Nutrien stock. HITI, it's High Tide Incorporated. This company produces all the equipment that's necessary for harvesting as well as the consuming cannabis products. All right, so we are looking at weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we don't have much information here. Don't pay attention to this black line here. I just marked that on a daily chart, not a weekly chart. So we can see here, weekly chart has nothing for us to offer. So all we have at the moment, live candle here. So this is not even a high. This is not even a high because this is a live candle still. So once this candle closes and next one opens, and if this proves to be a high, then we can continue on from there. So we're going to switch to daily chart here. All right, on the daily chart, you can see we had this high. This was a high, market fell, and then we had a breakout on the other side. It's not really a breakout, it's just broken this resistance. Now we are on the other side. We are waiting for the market. We are waiting for the market to pull back to this line and then continue on from there. So you have an opportunity to probably bounce off 0.69, and we went as high as 113 there. So let's take a look at here. We are now on a 5-minute chart, and I want to show you the entry for this one. This is how we refine the entries. So on a daily chart, we found this. That was a resistance. Now it's turning support. Market is breaking out. Now we are waiting for the pullback to this area. How were we able to get into trade on this chart? Well, take a look. This was the breakout here. Okay, so we can see the candle comes here, doesn't do anything. This one closes below, finally breakout. We have a breakout. This is a breakout here. You have an inside candle here. This is an inside candle, which means indecision. Okay, it's an indecision. It can go either here or it can go either here, depending on the signal. And what do we get next? We get an engulfing candle right there. You can see it here. This is an engulfing candle that engulfs the inside bar and the breakout bar, and your entry is right there. Your entry is at 0.71, so you lost 2 points on the entry, and it went all the way to 113 on this chart. So this is how you refine the entries into trading. We found this resistance here, which is now turning into support. We are waiting. Market broken out, so now, well, it was trying to break out. It was a resistance. Okay, once the market broken out, now we went up, and now we are waiting for the market to come down. So now this is going to be a support. Okay, so resistance or ceiling or support or floor, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it. I'm just using a proper jargon, but if you don't want to use it, that's totally fine. Call it whatever you want. Airplanes, space shuttles, I don't care. Really, as long as you know where to find them, and that's very important. And this is the area where you are getting interested into getting into trades. This is that bottom where people are looking to get into trade. Okay, so that's what you look into. That's what you are looking to as well to get into a trade. So breakout, inside bar, engulfing bar, and market moves on. And the entry was on 5-minute charts. On a weekly, we see nothing. There's nothing for us to trade on a weekly. I can't see anything there that's appealing to me, or it can tell me that this is like any entry into long or short. I have no idea. But then when I switched to daily charts, I had this peak here. This is a high, okay, and we marked that high, and now we have something to go on, okay. We had this resistance, market fell and it broke through. Now we are waiting for this area to turn support. Can we trade at that area? Of course we can. I showed you on a 5-minute chart the entry for it. So if I switch to a 5-minute chart once again, we can see the entry on this in this area, and then the market just took off. And let's move here. All right, once again we had a breakout, which was right here. We had a second bar, which was a retest, an inside bar, which is indecision bar, and then finally we get this nice engulfing bar that moves on, and you make a profit. That's basically how it's done. I'm moving on to General Motors company, and what interests me here is that General Motors now it's switching a lot of stuff to electric, and this is where I'm getting interested. It is traded in US dollars, and it's sitting at a price at 57.05. Okay, and this is the high that was created just a few days ago. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days ago. Okay, so about 2 weeks in trading. 2 weeks in trading, this high was created. Market fell, and now we're again at that same area. This is where I'm getting interested right now. I'm interested because I'm waiting for the market to break out and give me an opportunity to get in and buy in, okay? This is what we're waiting for, guys. So we're waiting for breakout, pullback, entry. So breakout, pullback, signal, entry. You go long from there, okay? So I'm waiting for that to happen. Take a look at it, keep it on your radar. This is why I'm interested in this stock. Let's switch to weekly here just to take a look, if there's anything weekly that's interesting for us to take a look. And as far as the targets, if the market was there before, we can see here that market was in a nice uptrend here. So we are going with the trend. We had this resistance here. We had a retest, and a full-on retest here. Okay, so this area, you see they match. Market fell down and finally broke out with this green beautiful candle that broke out on the other side. Yes, we didn't catch that move, it's totally fine, but now we created this 57 area. Okay, so two things can happen here. Market can come down here again to 46.79 and give us a nice signal here to go long again to this 57 area, or it's going to break out, pull back, and continue on from there. So those are two scenarios right now that I'm looking at this area right here. Okay, so that's General Motors. Ford Motor Company. I'm looking pretty much the same picture as I was looking over there. We had, let me switch to weekly. All right, as you can see here on the weekly chart, we had a resistance here, and we finally broke out there. We had a retest right there once. We have a retest second time. We are heading to this $12.15 area. That was a retest at 10.51. Okay, so we can see why it was a retest, because this was a huge resistance. Now it's turning a support. Beautiful support. If the market comes down here, we can wait for the signal to go along. We are going with the trend at the moment. All right. If this area gets broken out, we are waiting for breakout, pullback, continuation. Okay. Signal right here, and we move on. All right. So that's what I'm waiting for at this at the Ford company. Good price to buy in. Let me squeeze the chart a little bit so you can see why I marked 12.15, and then next one is 13.50. So we have this peak here. This was a high, okay, that corresponds to these lows here. So market had a problem going through it. Market had a problem going through this area. It stopped here, stopped here. You can see how it fell down. It broke with the wick, and then bulls pushed the price above this area here. So the bulls are really strong in that area. Okay, we had this, kind of slope. The market was coming down. It was in a sell-off zone, but now we are in a buy zone. We broke this resistance here, so now we're in a buy zone. If we break this 12.15, this is our next target of 13.51. If we come down to 10.51, then the first target is 12.15, and the second one is a 13.51. So that's what I'm looking at. Wanted to show you crude oil, and this is very interesting, very, very interesting again. Again, every market is the same. There's no difference, guys. There's no difference. Learn the basics, and you don't need anything on the chart. You just move on with the basic, reading of the charts. Let's analyze this chart. Market was coming down here, created this low here. Okay, not important to us. It fell down, created another low here. Okay, we went up, created a high. Not important for now. Okay, next time market came down here, it came very close to this low that we created here. Okay, so that's very interesting. Then we came down again, we very close. Another time again, very close to that, and close to this high. This market was not able to break this high here. So are you seeing what I'm seeing? This is a resistance, this is a support. This one is a low, and it is a support, but it wasn't as significant at that moment. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces, 5 here. Okay, so 5 bounces compared to 1 bounce, not as important. It turns out that this one was important at this side. Okay, so we can see for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks market was not able to break out this area, and finally we break out here. We break out, and where do we stop? Well, take a look. This area that we marked here is 49.29, 49.29 area. And what do we do? 1, 2, 3 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks we're not able to break through that area. So market stops, creates the inside bar, and then look at that. Full on engulfing bar right after that. Engulfing bar that breaks out this area, this 49.29. It's a huge move, like a fast moving market. And now, why the prices of fuel are going up? Well, why? Because it's heading towards the $64 per barrel. We are sitting right now at $57.91. We are very bullish right now. We are going with the trend at this point of time. We had a nice breakout. We had this resistance area that was broken. So the next one for us waiting, which had 1, 2, 3 times retest. This is going to be our next target. So that's oil. Do we see this on the chart? I hope you guys can all see this. I hope everybody can see this. You can see the breakout, guys. You can see that these candles stopped right here. Look at that. Right to the pip, to the top, right there. Okay. Then it creates this inside bar. This inside bar is an indecision bar. Not knowing what's happening here, and then we get this beautiful. Engulfing bar that breaks out. This is on a weekly chart, by the way. This is a weekly chart if you're a long-term trader or investor. And take a look at this, the breakout, and look what happens after that. You don't need to pull back on this candle. If you have a breakout like this, engulfing candle breakout that engulfs the previous candle or few candles before, the top is broken, you're in the trade and you're moving on. Okay, that's how you enter this market. Just wanted to show you that every single market does the same thing. We are looking at the Apple right now, and I'm going to switch to weekly chart. Okay, so on Apple, you can see on a weekly chart what we are doing here. We had this high here. Let me remark it here to the top. Perfect. So we had this high right there, which matches this high right here. Okay, high there, high here. Okay, so we have a strong resistance. Okay, market pulled back. We had this high right there, which was broken with this breakout right here. This was a breakout. Market went all the way to 137.95, came down to 126 to retest this high here. Okay, this is on the weekly chart again. So this is our support there. Okay, we pushed through. Finally, we broke and closed on the other side. Unfortunately, this was a fake out. Market pulls back again. So this is proving to us this 137 area is very strong. Okay, now we are heading towards this area again. So 137.95. If we have a strong breakout, pullback, continuation, we can buy into this market at this level here. Second option, if this proves to be even stronger and the market is not able to break out from there, we will come down to this area to retest 126.26, pardon me, 126.62. Okay, and we are waiting for the signal at that area here. Okay, and then move on to next area, which is 137, which is almost $11 in value of the stock. So that's Apple. Gee, we are covering so many charts today. And finally, the last one, we have Dell. This is on a weekly chart. We had this high here, okay, and which matches this high here, okay. We are at that level here, okay. You had a breakout on the other side. You had a retest, and the market moved on. All right, this is on a weekly chart. We're looking at the weekly chart. Let's switch to daily. After this breakout here, or this area here, we had market pulled up, retest, and finally we created this high. We have another one high, we have a second high. This is the high of the bulls, okay. The bears were stronger at this area here, so they pulled the market back, okay. So this candle, I left it on this one, even though this is a higher high. I left it on this one because that's where the bulls left over their power last time, all right, before losing battle to bears for a couple of days, all right. Now we finally broken out on the other side, and this is what I'm interested right now. 77.41 area. This is where the bulls show their hand again, okay, and we finally broke out of that area. Take a look at the entry on 1 hour here. Okay, and this is Dell. We had a problem going through this area here. You can see the wicks and then candles closing below. Finally, we have a breakout here. This is a breakout. This is not an engulfing candle. It doesn't engulf anything on the other side. This candle is lower than this one, so that's not a breakout with the engulfing bar. This candle broken out. Second candle, next session is an inside bar. It's inside. It's also telling us the following, okay? The market tried to pull back underneath this line, all right? Was not able to hold it. You can see only a wick. The body closed right on the line, all right? Right on the line. We know the bulls are located in this area. We know that from the previous marking of this resistance, okay? And what happens in the next session? Well, this is what happens. You get this nice pin bar here that takes you into a trade with the trend at the moment, and our trend is in the upside or on the upside. You can see the breakout here, this candle here. That was a breakout. This is a retest. You can clearly see that this candle is inside this one here. You can clearly see that, okay. You can also see that the bears push the candle down, all right. They were not able to close the price below this red line here. Only the wick is on the other side. The next candle, perfect pin bar. It is a small one, but a perfect entry into the trade, okay. And you have price closed on the other side, so the price is still on the buy side, all right. He had a wick that was retesting the area on the bottom and was not able to break through, and the market just takes off. We covered so many markets today, the ones that I'm interested in at the moment, from higher price to lower price markets as well. I hope my lessons are teaching you something and you're finally seeing all these things for yourself. I'm not on purpose telling you what to do and how to do it. I'm just showing you, I'm just teaching you the right way of doing it, and it's your decision if you're going to take the trades or you're going to buy into stocks or sell them or whatever you want to do. I leave it up to you. I thank you for choosing my channel to watch the videos and get education. Thank you once again for visiting. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please do press that like button. That increases the traffic to my channel and more people can find these videos. This is a free education, so I want to share it with everybody. It's always good to share. This is Sasha. Peace out.